to Connie and to Tappan, Brenda, and the rest of you who are watching this on a replay line. This is the 8th of February, 2016. And every single month, we're going to try to teach 4 powerful lessons on how the mind works and how you can get yourself to be focused, determined, have a clarity of thinking so that you know what you want and you're willing to go out and get it. So today's conversation is the beginning of those 4 cycled calls that we're going to do. Now, the previous month, we cycled through those calls, and I gave a summary call last week. And anytime anybody wants to, you can go to the bottom of goldmiind.com, GOLDMIND.com, and you can watch the video of happening, live calls that are happening, not live calls, but calls that have been recorded. And they are at the bottom of that page. And if you go there every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, this call happens live. And so we have some of you live here on the call, and we have many of you are watching on a replay. So your business and the goal you set to enroll at least 4 people per month. Now, you got 2 months to do that in order to become gold in RX. But we're going to challenge you to do that in 1 month. And so that means about 1 a week. Now, this call is about having the mindset to do that. The strategy and the techniques and the how do you enroll people to do that. Well, those are some of the calls that you'll listen to, or some of the recorded messages you can go to the BOSS, the BOS tab that's on your website, on the RX website. When you go into the back office, there's a little tab on the far right-hand side that says BOSS. And when you go to that BOSS, you can watch recorded calls. Some of them happened with me, and some of them happened with Tim Sales, the great, the leader in our industry who's been teaching people how to achieve success in network marketing, in all kinds of companies for a decade or more. And he is in RX. He's our lead trainer, and he's a builder in RX. He loves this company. So you'll watch videos on how you enroll 4 people and how do you invite people and all the techniques and strategies of doing that. I'm going to make sure that your mind is clear so that you're determined and committed to make sure that that happens. So it starts off with this first question you ask yourself: what do I want? And the simple video that you can watch on BOSS, where I kind of show this video, I like to do it live every single week. So you can jump in and you can ask questions. So at first, I'm going to spend about a half an hour just covering this basic lesson. And then I'll open it up for any questions and answers that you might want to achieve for yourself. Any ahas you had about today's call. I like to do this call every week. I like it to be live because I want you to bring anybody you want to on this call. You can bring a guest onto this call, someone who's never been involved in RX before. They can see right now that obviously I'm a best-selling author. I've written some powerful New York Times bestsellers. I got 10 of my books sitting right here. You can see the products in the background. I've got them on my desk, so when people walk into my office and they say, "What's that?" then, hey, I can talk about it. The first question, which we'll go deep on today: what do you want? And when do you want it? And whenever you converse with somebody, this should be the question that's in your mind. It's the question that's in your mind. It's in the question you want to try to find out what's in their mind. If you're really trying to build a business, if you try to do ordinary marketing and talk to people who are not interested, that's spam. Did you get that? When you try to push something on somebody and they don't want it and they haven't asked for it, that's spam. So the reason that people don't like network marketing is because people are spamming everybody about their company. And what is spam? It's something that you didn't ask for. It's a promotion that showed up in your email, and you didn't ask for it. And when it shows up, when you go, how did this get here? Why are people sending me, an email that's trying to promote their thing, the insurance or a car? And today I got in my inbox, and it was spam. And how do you feel about spam? You don't like it. Why don't you like it? Because you're not Googling it. So the difference between spam and Googling is if you're Googling for something, that means you're looking for it. It's a problem you're trying to solve. If you're being spammed, it's somebody trying to sell you something where you haven't asked for it. So verbal spam is when you try to push a product or a service or something on somebody else when they don't know you, or they're not friends with you, or they don't trust you, or they haven't confided in you that there's a problem that they'd like to work on and solve. If they ask you, that's not spam. That's Googling. You know, when you put in your Google bar and you look out there in the world, and when people are, you know, are Googling for something, it means they're actively searching. And therefore, when you show up as an answer to that, they're excited. Whoa! And they click. So how do they click on you? See, that's what you're trying to get them to do, is for them to Google you. Or in other words, for them to ask you, for them to share with you the problem that they've got, and they're searching for an answer to it. So in order to generate the mindset when you're talking to somebody where they'll Google you, or where they'll ask you, you have to generate some trust. So the way I do this, and there are hundreds of ways of persuading people. This is just one way. And your downline and upline might have a specific way of doing it. They might have, you know, PowerPoints they're sending you to. I like to do this call live because for me, it's for me to reach out to those who don't have a good connection with their upline, are not involved in a powerful team where they're meeting on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, where they feel like they're an orphan, where they kind of want to find out what's going on. And therefore, if that happens to be you, or if you know somebody like that, you know, you're welcome to come to this call every single week. Now, the way, and you're going to see me do this, you know, over and over and over again until you get good at it. And as I do this, I want you to do it as well. And I see that the camera, whoops, the camera is not zooming in very well on that upper. Let me change the lighting a little bit. See if that makes it just a little bit better. Huh. Well, that's a little. I'll make it a little bit darker. Frowny face, smiley face. And in your conversation with everybody you talk to, you're trying to get them to get to where they want to go. And most people really don't have an idea about what that is. Most people don't know what they want. And so you, as a leader, as a thought leader, what you're trying to do is have them identify what they want. Now, I'm talking about the future. One second. There we go. The future is where people want to go. So the real question is, what kind of future do they want to go to? So when you're conversing with somebody, a really powerful question is, where do you want to be 5 years from now? And most people have never had that question asked to them. You ask them, well, where were you 5 years ago? Let's see, today's 2016. Where were you in 2011? Is it any different from 2011 till today? Would you like 2021 to be spectacular? Your conversation with somebody about what they really want is a way of getting them outside of their mind and externalizing their goals. And most people don't have most people are all stuck inside their head, and mixed inside their hair are their fears and the things they don't want, and their dreams and the things they do want, the problems of things they're trying to solve right now, and the pressures that they're setting on their shoulders, the relationships they're having struggles with, the busyness, the too busyness on their life, the fact that money pressures are bearing in on them. This is what this frowny face is all about, and most people have a frowny face life. They're positive. Most people are generally positive, but inside this brain, your goal as a thought leader, as a person who influences somebody else, is to get them to have this conversation with you, and not for you to sign them up in RX, but for you to really understand what they want. And RX may not be the solution to any of their problems. We know that they may not think that. We know that everyone needs the powerful nutritional products that RX has. And if you want to look a little bit better, every one of us needs a little of that Jovet skincare. And if you want to drink more pure water, every one of us has to have that. But most of them are not Googling that because they don't have that as a problem. They don't think it's a problem. So what your goal is in conversing with somebody is to try to get them to Google you, to confide in you what they want. So the question is, where do you want to be 5 years from now? And let them talk. And as they do, you just write down the three things. I'm going to see if that camera is really pretty nasty. Those three lines represent a plus sign. And the real question is, what do you want to add to your life? And once again, the purpose of this conversation is just to get them to externalize the issues they're dealing with. And you've all learned this lesson that if you'll write down the things that are kind of roaming around in your head, the to-do items, if you'll get them down on a piece of paper, it'll give you clarity of mind. If those things are roaming around your head all the time, then sometimes they're negative, sometimes they're positive. And when you get a person to do this and actually take them through this experience, you are giving them a clarity that some of them haven't seen in a long time. So what do you want more of? And they'll tell you. And as they tell you, you write down the things that they say, or you get them to write them down. Usually when I'm doing a presentation with somebody, I get them to write them down. And as they write them down and they get them out of their heads and onto a piece of paper, it just becomes more realistic to them. It becomes more accessible because it's out in front of them. And they can say, oh, well, this is my life. And this simple diagram that I've designed is to make it easy for any ordinary person to talk to their friends about it. And I made the symbols, the smiling face, frowning face, and the smiling face. I made them so simple that anybody could draw them. Anybody can draw a plus sign. Anybody can draw a minus sign, which is what are the three things that you would like to eliminate from your life right now? Now, I did a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was asking them, what this is a gentleman in Japan, and I was asking him, what would you like to eliminate from your life right now? And he was a very positive person, and he was just a very thankful person. And the more he thought about it, the more he said, well, I'm pretty happy with the way things are. I'm thankful for all the blessings that I have. And he couldn't come up with any, really challenging issues that he'd like to immediately remove from his life. He's a rare person because most people, they can think of immediately. They can think of a pain in their knee that they'd like to get rid of. They can think of a few extra pounds that they'd like to get rid of. They can think of a credit card debt. Wouldn't it be nice if they could kind of wipe that debt off, magically? Most people can think of that. But if you find somebody who can't particularly think about it, then go back up to the positive. So then what would you like to add to your life today? And our conversation today is about how do you persuade somebody? Some people move towards what they want. This. Some people move away from what they don't want. This. And you learn and you study NLP about how the mind works, is that about 2/3 of the people are real positive, and they're always looking for the best options, and they are dreamers, and their dreams draw them and move them towards what they want. And they see a picture of a beautiful car, they go, oh, I like one of those, so they're drawn to the things they want. About 1/3 of the people are so consumed by their negativity that they want to move away from that. So when we talk to somebody, you want to talk about both. Because if you only talk about one, if you only talk about how wonderful things are and the beautiful life you want to create for yourself and how much money you want to make and how great health you want to, you're going to miss 1/3 of the people who will not understand that language. Does that make sense to you? In other words, it's like you're speaking French and they're understanding German. They don't get it because you're not speaking their language. So by doing both of these in a conversation with somebody, you're reaching both people. Now, what if you're one of those 1/3 that are kind of moving away from things you don't want, And what if this is where you're trying to inspire somebody by saying, well, let's get rid of that fat. Let's get rid of those friends that have been terrible in your life, and let's move away from this debt that you've got. If you're speaking that language, and they happen to be a moving toward person versus a moving away from person, if they're speaking this negative language, then you're going to miss 2/3 of the people. They will not like a negative, complaining type person. They just don't like to be around that kind of person. So if you end up, and it's okay to be this way. I'm not saying there's a good or bad. I'm just trying to say I think you should do both. So when you're conversing with somebody, just make sure you're dropping in at least 1/3 of your conversation with somebody about the things you're moving away from. And if you're asking them what they want to move away from, you're trying to decide, you're trying to discover what motivates them. Just in the way that they're talking about it, there'll be a few things that really resonate with them. And so your goal as a persuader is to be sensitive to that. And they're going to say, maybe over and over in their conversation, they might mention this one thing, I got this house payment that's just killing me. I got to get rid of that, and then you talk a little bit more, and they say, well, if I could get rid of this burden that's on my back, it would really be, and if they keep, referring back to that same issue, that's a motivating issue to them. That's what we call serious Google with a capital G. They are really looking for a solution to that problem. You're trying to discover, back to this conversation about Googling, you're trying to converse with them in a way that allows them to figure out what they really want to Google, if they really were thinking about it. What are they really searching for? So your goal is to find out what those hot buttons are. And if they say, oh, I've always wanted to have a yacht. It's been my dream ever since I was a kid to have a yacht that I could, go on the ocean. Oh, just the sun on my face. And now you can tell you're into serious motivating modes. And therefore, in your conversation with them, you link what it is they really want with a solution that you might have. Now, it may not be something that they want to do. They might already be pursuing their dreams and the way to get them in all kinds of other different ways. And so your solution to helping them achieve their passions, the things they really want, and help them avoid the things they really don't want, perhaps RX is not the solution. And therefore, you drop that into the conversation, and that they're not really interested in that. That doesn't mean you don't mention it again. you're going to mention it until it comes such time as they really say, no, listen, I'm not interested in that. You just subtly plant it in your conversation with them over a period of time. It might be several months, you know. Point is, you're just trying to say, remember that conversation we had at Starbucks the other day, and I asked you, you know, what you wanted and what you didn't want. And I asked you another question. That's a question mark right there. Why do you want it? Why is it so important to you that you really are going to do it? I mean, in the next 5 years, they're going to pass. You'll be around in 2021, more than likely on February the 8th. I hope I'll be around. More than likely you'll be around. The time is going to pass. It's going to pass. Where will you be? Will you be where you really want to be? Or will you be still in the same house, still in the same car, still with the same issues that you're trying to deal with, still with the same kind of issues you're trying to run from, still with the same dreams you've been pushing out year after year after year after year? Let's go make this happen. Let's decide what that is, what we really want, and let's go make it happen. Let's just do it. That means I have to get clear on what I want. And then this little line down here at the bottom is a place for them to sign their name. Are you really committed to this? I want you to sign your name to it. It's going to be yours. I'm not going to keep a copy of it. You get to take it with you. So it's part of your paperwork from now on. So by signing your name here doesn't mean that I'm going to hold you to them. This is your commitment to yourself. Do you really want this? If you do, tell me why. Why is it important? Maybe you got a family member that needs some issues, some health problems that you're trying to help solve. Maybe it's a dream that you've always had and you're darn it, you're going to do it. Or maybe it's a commitment that you made to your spouse, you know, a long time ago, and you've struggled with it for many years, and finally you decided, I'm going to make this happen, no matter what it takes. Whatever your reasons why are, the plus signs and the minus signs and the question marks, you know, just sign your name to that. Date it. This is February the 8th, 2021, and today is February 8th, 2016. So this is where you want to go. Now, what you do by doing that is you activate whole internal unconscious parts of yourself that it would take a lot of scientific books that I've read to condense it down. I don't want you actually to know the science behind it. I just want you to only understand the simplicity of this. The reason why is because you're going to teach this to somebody. You're going to teach this to a member of your downline. A brand new, like Connie, for instance, you've got a preferred customer coming in. Now, your preferred customer may not be, you know, willing to share this kind of detail about their dreams and their fears. Dreams, fears, dreams, fears. Maybe they're just a customer and all they want is to take the product and, well, why? Why are they taking the product? What is there that that product's going to get them? What do they really want down in the future? What are they really trying to achieve by that product? They may not, you know, be a full-blown conversation like this. Maybe they just give me the product and let me see if it works. But if they're a member on your team, if they decided that they want to achieve financial freedom, that's really important to them. Then this is a conversation you should have with them. It should be happening with every member of your team. You should understand what they really want, because sometimes when you sign somebody up in this, you know, RX, in our network marketing company, we know what we want. This is maybe what we wrote, but we sometimes don't know what they want. And therefore, every time we speak to them through our dreams and our fears, it is incongruent with the way they hear it. And they go, well, all right, so I get it that you want a boat, and I get it that you want to make this house payment, but my house is free and clear, and I already own a boat, so why are you talking like this? See, you're not communicating. The only way to communicate with your team is to find out exactly what they want, what they don't want, why they want that, and to get them to sign it. This externalizes these jumbled up thoughts that are in their heads. And clarity is so powerful. Clarity is power. I think it's been said by thought leaders for decades. Clarity is power, but it's true. Clarity is power. Do you know what you want? This conversation we have ourselves, we take about 20 minutes, and I kind of pontificated for a half of that. You don't need to spend very much time on this with somebody. It's kind of exciting when they really look at it and they start creating it. It's like they now have part of it's theirs, you know. But if you kind of, okay, let's go make some money, and you sign them up, and that's not really what their dream is, and you wonder why you have trouble reaching them on the phone because they're not responding to your phone calls. And where did they go? I thought we were really going to build a business together, and they kind of disappeared. Well, usually that happens is because they really haven't gotten engaged. They really aren't fully involved in the process. It's not the problem they're trying to solve or the dream they're trying to reach. And once you make it clear for them, then when you talk to them on the phone, since you now understand them a little bit better, you can say, oh, remember that check we're trying to get for you? You want a $1,000 extra income coming into your life in 5 years from now? Income that flows in from customers that are automatic, that you never have to go bug again, but the money just shows up in your bank account. Remember that? Good. I found some solutions to that particular problem. I'd like to share it with you. So now when you're conversing with them, they're engaged. They know what you want. Okay? Now, let's just share. Let's go to something that happened the other day. And let's see, I need to, oops. I need to show my screen. So let me show it. Sharing my screen. Right there we go. Okay. I think you should be able to see this. Let's hope so. There we go. You can still see me up in the top right-hand corner, I think. And Brenda, if that's true, let me know. Well, let's see, I've got your microphone muted here. I'll unmute you. Brenda, can you see the PowerPoint presentation? And let me unmute your microphone.
Yep, we can see it, Bob. It's Juve.
And then up in the top right-hand corner, how many fingers am I holding up?
You've got 2 fingers up.
Okay, just
now 1.
Here we go. Okay. Now, this is a hot product. In Japan, as I said to you last week, our call last week was from Japan, actually. It was at 6 o'clock in the morning from the Prince Hotel in Tokyo. So I'm a little more relaxed here, sitting in my own house. I told you that during my 5-minute speech at both of the launch ceremonies in Tokyo and in Osaka, my simple message was, this is a wow product. And it is a wow product. And not everybody you talk to is going to be interested or is Googling this solution to this product. Most women will put some kind of skincare on their face for cosmetic purposes. Most men don't. I don't yet, but my auto ship this month is going to be Jove By the way, you were correct, Brenda, on that. The real French pronunciation is Juve. That's how you really would say it in French. But they say it in RX, they say Jove. So whatever. It's just like you say banquet, and in French you say banquet. So English is a little bit different. So here is this incredible set of products. Products are like $100 is what the cost is. It has some samples that come with it, so you can show it to people. The samples really work. And let's see. No, I don't want to go there. Let's see. Hold on a second, everybody. There we go. So today, let's talk about these products. Now I'm on the talk about Googling. Remember, when you get into a conversation with somebody about what they want, how do you bring up skincare? You know, when they may not be interested in that. The best answer to your question, to that question, is you are the best sample. You are the best testimonial. So the very first thing you do as a RX representative is you become the testimonial for the product. So as you can tell, my wrinkles are pretty pronounced in my 67th year, 68th. But my product is showing up in the auto ship. It'll be coming here in just a few days. And then I'm going into full face mode for me. And as a man, never done that before. Never thought I needed to. Can I be honest? It was only after I started trying out just a sample, the little samples that come with my wife's kit, that I tried those samples on my own wrinkles, and the results were so dramatic for myself personally. And the photos that I took of the side of my face were so ugly, because I don't look at the side of my face. When I'm getting dressed, I'm looking full on my face, in my eyes. But the photos I took from the side, I was not happy with at all. And the results that I got from the Joe product were so dramatic that this guy wants to have a better face. And people do say that I look fairly young for my age. When people say that from this point on, after my product arrives and I start doing it throughout this next month, when they say that, then I have the opportunity, since they Googled that. See, they Googled, they gave me an input. They said, you know, you're looking really young for your age. And I'm going to go, you want to know my secret? Is that a good question to get started with? Yeah. I use an unbelievable skincare product that takes 20 years off my face in less than 5 minutes. Now, what is that? That is when you Google something and you say, you know, skincare or getting rid of wrinkles, whatever, a whole list of links comes up, right? Which link do you click on? Well, you're going to scan down those links really quickly, and you're going to find the link that represents the closest thing that you're searching for with the best headline. And so when the opportunity arises that they have asked you the question, now your next response has got to be persuasive. What is the sentence that's going to come out of your mouth? When somebody asks you, why do you have so much energy all the time? That's a Google. So you go, would you like to know my secret? Just imagine how powerful that question is. And they go, yes. What did they just do when they say yes? They responded. They clicked on your link. They clicked on your link, and now they've taken you to your web page using internet language. When they go to your web page, it had better be a doggone good web page, or how long will they last on that page? Seconds, and they're gone. And where are they going to go back to? They're going to go back to the links that they were Googling, and they're going to click on the next link. And how much presence will you have if they've left your page? The point is, they'll never come back to your page. So your page, and what I mean by your page, the next sentence you say is your page. It's going to want to keep them interested in going a little further. So the skincare one was, how I look 10 years younger in less than 5 minutes, 2 minutes. What about energy? You want to know my secret? Do you? See, you're right now. You're going, well, yeah. What is it? And you say, what do you say? Well, I'm going to say I had a most unbelievable, delicious nutritional drink this morning. I take every morning. And with it, I take some of the most powerful nutritional products that make me feel so much energy, that keep me from getting sick, that make me healthier in all areas of my life. They give me the clarity of thinking. The aches and pains I used to have gone. I wouldn't miss this drink or these products for all the tea in China, or whatever else you want to say. Now, are they going to click further? They want to know more. And if they don't want to know more, they might say, well, I'm taking a great drink too. Say, great, super, good for you, super. If you open up the conversation with them at least. What about some of the other products that we have? Well, one of our products, or one of our benefits, is earning an extra stream of income. You're showing some photos of maybe they're in your apartment or your house, and they see these photos of you on these little cruises you've gone on, or the convention you went to, which was so much fun, where you were eating with your friends, during a party, getting ready for the convention, and they go, how come you've got so many friends? And your answer is, do you want to know my secret? I really have never been a fan of network marketing, but I stumble onto this amazing company that just rocks my socks. It's just incredible. And I've found the most amazing people in my entire life. I just love these people. We're having the time of our life. And, these pictures of this trip that my wife and I took, or my husband and I took, it was from the bonus checks I got from this crazy little company. Yeah, I mean, most people think that it's, that you can't make money in network marketing, but I'm here to prove you wrong. It really works. And now you've given them the page for them to read, as they read it. Are they interested in that? So back to Jovet. So I'm on the treadmill 2 daes ago. This is Lancome. You heard that name before? $74 is the product for that particular product, and you buy it on HSN. They're showing you the before and after picture, and look at those before and after pictures. I realize this is not a great shot. It's a photo of a television screen that you're watching on a PowerPoint. So I must admit the resolution is not that great, but the before picture and the after picture. Can you see? The wrinkles are slightly down from that. Do you know how long it took to get those photos? And by the way, I don't think, when I was watching, the HSN pitch person try to sell me this product as I was on the treadmill, and I took my camera off immediately and started taking photos of the screen as I'm on the treadmill. I don't think those before and after pictures are really all that good. Now, look how long it took them to get it. After 6 weeks, 2 times a day. So what would it have cost to get that not so good a picture? Well, 6 weeks at $74 a month, it would have cost about $150 to get that. And I took my little samples of Chauvet and put them onto I got a lot worse crow feet than that lady does. And I'm not going to show you the photos here. I've showed them in previous calls we've had. Point is, it took 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most. And it was dramatic. It was shocking. That's how good it is. Now, on the television, they're trying to sell the solution at about the same price, maybe a little bit less in this case, for a result that's not even close to what we have. This is a wow product. It just is. It's just incredible. And this is Lancôme, which is one of the greatest cosmetic companies in the world. Rénergie Lift, the multi-action eye cream. Not even close. Not even close. So on the same treadmill, I'm flipping around the channels, and here is one of these channels trying to sell, and this is the lady showing the wrinkles. And once again, you can't see it all that well, but on televisions, I'm seeing with my own eyes, the difference between the before and after picture is really not that good. And what's the cost? It's $99.74 for a result that isn't nearly as good and not nearly as fast. We have a hot wow product. And if you know of anybody, well, anybody you look at has got crow's feet. Unless they're under 40, and guess what? The people under 40 are going to have crow's feet. And they're going to have wrinkles in their brow. And they're going to have face problems. And a younger person is going to be better accepted, is going to make more money, is going to be they're just going to be better in all senses of the word. My challenge is, how do you find a person who can find that particular product? Well, when you're having conversation with somebody, we're back to our chart right here. They're probably not going to ask you why you look so young. They probably won't ask you, why do you seem to have so much energy? Why do you seem so positive all the time? Why do you seem to have so many friends? That's assuming you do. If they're not going to ask you those kinds of questions, because those are only questions that come through friendship. They don't know you enough to say to you, man, you look like you lost some weight here recently, especially if you just met them at a party or something, or a church function, or an athletic game, or a kid's, school, whatever. If they don't know you, they're not going to notice that you've lost weight. They're not going to notice that your skin looks better. They're not going to notice that you have lots of energy. They're not going to notice that you seem to have lots of friends around you, that you're a positive person. So in your conversation with somebody, you're trying to befriend them. You're trying to befriend them, not because you're trying to sell them anything. You're trying to be a friend. And you're going to get to know them better. And eventually they're going to say, you seem to have lost, some weight since the last time I saw you. At which time, what is your question? Well, yeah, what's your secret? You become friends with somebody when you know this kind of information about them. When you explore with them in a very non-pushy way, you're just getting to know them. You say, where do you want to be 5 years from now? If that leads you to a deeper conversation with them, if they really want to talk about it, what don't you want in your life? Why is that so important to you? You may not even write this down on a piece of paper. You may not put it on a napkin conversation with them. It might be just a conversation we're having. What I'm trying to get you clear on is, when you're conversing with somebody, these are the things that you want to discover about them. When you do, you can get them. That sounds too manipulative. I don't want to be manipulative here. When you do, open the door for them to Google you. You open the door for them to question you, to find out more about you. You open the door for them to discuss some of their dreams and some of their fears. So in your mind, even though you are not drawing it out, in your mind, you are literally imagining this chart in your head. And as they say, you know, they really want to, let's suppose they're looking for a spouse. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice 5 years from now? What kind of spouse do you want? You know, what's the relationship going to be like? You know, you explore with them. Like, where will you live? What kind of car do you think you guys will love to drive together? What kind of house? What city you want to live in? What kind of freedom do you want? What kind of, does she make good money? Does he make good money? You making good money together? How you ever thought about that? You know, it's just, you're being interested in what they're doing. And most people are never that interested, you know? So this is a chart about the clarity action. This is action number 1, most important conversation you can have with them. You get those simple things down in a very rough format that I've described right here. And when you do, they can start to open up, and you can start to be a kind of friend to them that they probably haven't had before. That's our conversation for today. I will open it up for anybody who would like to chat. Let's see, I'll open up the microphones, and you're welcome to, let's see, unmute that. There we go. And I'm now open up for everybody to be part of a conversation if you'd like to. If there's any questions you have about this at this particular point, ask away. If you don't have any questions, then our call will be essentially done for today. Anything that you're trying to ask, please go ahead and ask it.
Hey, Bob, this is Connie. One of the questions that I had, I think it's great that when you were talking about the conversation around moving towards and moving away from. And one of my questions, I guess, is that I like to have people around me that are into moving towards, not moving away. Yes. I know you had said that if you don't include some of the moving away, then they might not want to join you. Isn't that okay? Is that not okay? I guess I know I pour so much into my people because I love what I do, and I want to have people around me that's moving towards something. And I might not be the best upline for them if they're focused on the negative.
It's just you know, sometimes positive people don't like to hang around negative people because they're always noticing the wrong things, that they're noticing the problems. Well, some people are just like that. They're built that way. And that's why we have attorneys. We have attorneys who look for problems. That's all they see. You know, all we see is opportunity, and all they see are problems. And the point is, you're going to find from time to time that the person you're talking to is that way.
Right.
And it's not because they're bad people.
Right.
It's just like that's just the way they're wired. And thank heaven, some people are wired that way, because we can bring people on our team and make their tell me where we're messing up here. You know, notice the problems that we need to fix. So I think it's okay as long as you're open-minded to it yourself.
Right. Okay.
You're sensitive. You realize, you know, this person's probably a moving away from person. So let me speak in their language, and then teach them. You know, some people are moving toward people, and I'm one of those. So when I talk like this a lot, I hope it doesn't bug you, because that's just the way I'm wired. You know, and so, but I need your help on our team. I need you to be the one points out the challenges that we're going to have, so that we can fix them before they become problems that we can fix.
Right.
That's the way I'd handle it. But you know, about 2/3, 3/4 of the people are going to be the kind of people you attract anyway. So, good luck on that, Connie.
Yeah, thank you. The other thing I wanted to say is when we have conversations with new teammates, new reps on our team, you know, we definitely do talk to them about what do they want and what motivates them and why do they want it. one of the things, just as I'm reading your book and seeing what you're coming out, the new content that you're coming out with about the ways of being also, because it's not, so in our conversations, it's not just, what do they want, but who do they want to be? Who, do you want to be contribution? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be generosity? Do you want to be?
Nice. That's a good distinction. I need to add that to my conversation about it. Very nice. It's not just what they want to have; it's what they want to be. It's
who do you want to be in the world?
Yeah, who they want to become. Very nice. Very nice. I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Great. All right. Anybody else? Any questions that anybody might have? If you'll jump in. I see Heidi's on the call there. How you doing, Heidi?
Hey, good, Bob. Great call. Thank you. And I appreciate what she just said about becoming, because, I think that is important. That was a good insight.
Yep, it really was. See, once again, that's where my view of the future and the way I categorize it, the way I identify it, is probably more in a than in a being. So that's the way I'm speaking about it. And what Connie was coming back to me was, well, I really don't really want a nice car. And it's not the fact that I want a big house. It's like I want to be this kind of person who does these kinds of things, who makes the world a contributing person. So by me speaking my language, Connie, it didn't resonate as much with you, or the way you were teaching people, and they responded back in this certain way in the language and they want to hear it. So that's why I'm going to have to be more inclusive with that word as I continue to teach it. Great. I
liked also what you said about the Googling, the aspect of opening it up for them to be able to Google, and I have a hard time with that. I had a guy the other day, in fact, on my Facebook post, I made a post about how I like to start each day with lemon juice, which usually lemon or lime, I use both. I didn't comment on that, I just said lemon. And he came back and he said, so that's your secret. And I just said thank you to him and hi and whatever. But I didn't say, hey, I have a little bit more to my secret. And afterward, I thought that I should have. I thought I should have picked on that and just kind of rolled with it a little bit more, instead of just thanking him, not being aggressive about it, but just saying, hey, if you ever want me to share a few more secrets, send me a message.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that's a good point too, because you just kind of have to be ready for that. And sometimes it's hard to take advantage of those opportunities. That, for me, it is, at least, because I am always on guard, not wanting to be too pushy about it, but I'm probably going too much the other way, where I'm being too careful and not wanting to step on toes, and so I'm being too careful.
Yeah. Besides that, on a Facebook post, I don't think you can be all that. You can't offend them. Unless you know who that person is on your Facebook post.
Well, I do. I know him, and he just came back and commented and said, so that's your secret. But, I mean, he's somebody I know, but I haven't been in touch with him for a couple of decades, so it would have been different if I knew him well, So that's kind of why I think I held back. But, I could have taken it a little bit farther. I could have said, well, we all have our secrets. If you want to talk more about that, give me a call. But I don't know. I kind of hesitated because I
understand why. You're the metaphor that I'm using about Googling and spam is just the reason that people are, don't like network marketers, because they're always, spamming, basically. And
right. And I didn't want everybody to feel like, oh, that's the other reason she made the post, to try to get buyers. Anyway, which I really wasn't. I was just trying to share my secret. Which I did.
Exactly. All right. Any other comments, questions? It's your time. Any other ahas you might have?
No, great call, Bob.
All right. Thanks, everybody. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen,
Goodbye.